Hello ladies, welcome to my channel. My name is Jenny and I help empower women to live their best life after an abusive relationship. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about a very important topic, and it's not for everybody, but this video is going to be for the women that find themselves in an abusive relationship and they have to move somewhere, like move their lives in a different state or move somewhere else to escape that abuser. So that's what this video is going to be about. And I really wanted to talk about this. It's just something that it's very prominent. A lot of women find themselves in these abusive relationships, and sometimes it's a life or death situation, whether you will survive or not. So I really wanted to make a video on it, and it's something that I've been through. I've had to travel across the country all by myself at 21 years old just to get away from the guy that was abusing me. And so I wanted to share some of the tips that I've used that helped me to do that while I had no money. So a little background story on my story. I was 21 years old and I was leaving this relationship with an abusive man, and I was getting threats, life-threatening threats, like death threats. I didn't feel safe. I felt like I could possibly be hurt. So I decided that it was the best decision for my life to move as far away as possible as I could from that person. So at 21 years old, I moved from the East Coast to Las Vegas, so pretty much the other side of the country. I was all by myself. I didn't have no money. I was broke at the time. And yeah, but I made it through, and now I'm just 2 years later, I'm living the most amazing life that I could have ever thought that I would ever be able to live. And I wanted to share that and how I did it so that it can help anyone going through the same situation that I went through. So, number one is you need to make the decision, and just make the decision that moving across the country or moving far away from this person is the best decision for you. So, like everything starts with a decision. Make a decision that will better your life. Realize that if you stay in the same place with this person, that your life is not going to get any better, and that worse things can happen. Verbal abuse can always turn into physical abuse, and then physical abuse will always lead to death. It'll lead to something worse always. So realize that if somebody is already hurting you in some type of way, that it only is going to get worse. So make the decision that you want to live a better life, and the only way that you can do that is by moving as far away as possible from this person that's hurting you. The next thing is you just need to have unwavering faith that whatever happens is going to work out, and wherever you end up staying, you're going to be safe, you're going to be taken care of. You just have to have faith that everything is going to work out in your favor. And it really helps if you believe in God or a higher power than you. Believe that you're going to be safe, taken care of, and nothing is going to hurt you anymore. You also need to just start saving as much money as you can. Start saving, whether you pick up a side job or if you have to quit your job to change locations. Make sure that you're able to save up enough money to support yourself just in case an emergency happens. I didn't have any money saved up. I definitely had less than $400. I think I had around $200 literally when I had to leave. So yeah, but somehow like it all worked out for me. But I believe that it was because of my faith and because of these certain steps that I took that I'm about to share with you now. So yeah, also you need to start. So the number one thing that saved me and that pretty much saved my entire life is creating relationships with people. And it can be hard, especially if you're coming out of an abusive relationship, because you feel closed off from the world already and you might not have any friends. I also want to mention too that if you're planning on leaving your state, staying in another state, you want to see if you have any friends or family that you trust that would be there for you. That would always be a safer option if that's an option for you. But if you were like me and you didn't have any other family around or friends, then definitely use this tip and start creating relationships with people in the place that you want to go. So for me, it wasn't really, I didn't really decide like, oh, I want to go to Las Vegas and I want to live in Vegas. I started talking to somebody that lived here and I told him about my situation, and this guy was willing to help me move. So you want to start talking to people, getting to know people. Don't just come off like you want somebody to help you. Actually foster like friendships, create friendships and good relationships with people around certain areas, or people that are already like trying to reach out to you, people that might want to be your friend already. If you just tell somebody like your story, start telling your story to people, tell them that you really want to, you're thinking about moving, like you're being abused. If you tell people the truth about what is happening, good people will want to help you. And so take advantage of that and don't be afraid to tell people the truth about your situation, because you never know, somebody might be willing to help you. That is like probably one of the number one things, is be the person that somebody else would want to help. So, if you're just an ungrateful person and you expect things for free, or you expect people to just help you for nothing or whatever, nobody's gonna really want to be there for you or help you. If you have a bad attitude, if you don't show people respect, if you don't have the same respect people will show you, then they can feel that off of you, and people wouldn't be so willing to help somebody like that. So try to become the person that you would want to help. And so, yeah, start making friends, just be a good person, create trust in your new relationships. You want to make sure that you would be able to trust them. Also, when you're coming out of an abusive relationship, you're more prone to easily trust people or other or get into relationships really quickly with people. And so I do want to state that make sure that you're not just jumping into a new relationship with somebody. Like, if you find another man that's willing to help you, don't just jump into a relationship with that person just because you feel like somebody is like saving you. Like, there's a real thing where survivors of trauma will bond to people that come to help them, and they'll see them as like their hero. And it'll make you be really attached to that person. So you have to make sure that that's not something that will happen to you, because it happened to me. So the original person that I came that got my plane ticket and was going to help me escape the situation, I thought that I really liked this person and that I wanted a relationship with them. But later down the line, I figured out like that's not really what I wanted, like a few weeks in. But then I realized, what was kind of happening, and like I was kind of trusting this person a lot, and this person was wanting to like marry me like the next day, stuff like that. So that was red flags. Like, there was red flags that was coming up when I was living with this person. So I already knew the red flags from my previous relationship. So you want to keep remembering those red flags. I've made another video about the red flags that you should look out for when you start dating people. I have a new video about that, so you can check that out too if you're not sure what red flags to look out for. But definitely don't just fall for the first person that comes to your rescue. Don't just let somebody take advantage of you again, or not treat you the way you deserve to be treated just because you need help and just because you're desperate to get out of the situation that you're in. Start creating a plan, start looking at flights if you need to fly out, start looking at transportation options, have a plan, have like an idea of what you would do to make money while you're in the new area. Make sure that you can secure a roof over your head and like your basic survival needs. Make sure that you have a plan in that, especially if you have children as well. It might be easier for somebody to leave that has no children, but if you have children, make sure that you also create a plan for them too, because it's not just your life, it's their lives too. So yeah, when you find yourself in this situation and you're by yourself in a whole new state, a whole new, you're far away from your family, or you have nobody to help you, you want to literally, all that matters in this moment is your survival. So you need to make sure you have access to the basic things like food, you have water, you have a roof over your head. In that moment, like that's all that's going to matter is your safety. Safety is a priority. Make sure that you're safe. Don't put yourself in bad situations. There are men and women that will take advantage of women that have been abused. If you are coming out of that situation, like make sure to have a backbone enough and not let people take advantage of you, because people will try to, if they know like you're not in a good situation, you're more easily able to be taken advantage of. So don't let anybody try to make you do things that you don't want to do just because you need a place to stay or you have no money and you need help. So yeah, you all also want to have an exit plan just in case things don't work out. So like if you moved out and you're living with a new person and that person starts treating you bad, or you just don't like the environment and you really need to leave, always have an exit plan. Have backup friends, whether you have to like go on sites, go on websites, find friends, find people in the area. There's a lot of like apps where you can meet people in your city, in your area, close by, and you can start talking to people, start being a friend to people, and if anything happens, you'll know that you can be able to call somebody or have somebody that you could reach out to that might be able to help you. So yeah, and you also want to pack lightly. So if you're just like leaving out the country, or not out the country, but like if you're moving to a different state and you don't really have a secure place to stay in, that you don't know if you're going to be living there for a few weeks or a few months or whatever it is, when you do leave the place that you were living in prior, you want to make sure that you pack lightly. I would suggest maybe one suitcase and like a carry-on bag, because if you don't really have a secure place to live and you want to move around, and like if you're moving around like living with people, you don't want to have so much baggage with you to where you can barely transport yourself easily. So try to, before you find like a secure place, if you can leave most of your belongings with somebody else while you're finding a secure living place, then do that. But if you can't, like if that's not really an option, like it was for me, like if you're moving across the country, you can't bring your whole life collection of things with you. So you have to just, pick the things that you want to bring, things that mean the most to you. That's all you'll need. And so, yeah, pack lightly. Relationships with other people will literally save your life. Be the kind of person that you would want to help, you know, treat people with respect and they'll treat you with respect too. Also, yeah, start finding different income streams, find different jobs, and start just making sure your safety is guaranteed. And yeah, start if you really like the area, let this be a chance for you to kind of find your life again, like create the life that you actually want to live. When you get out of that survival mode where you're just trying to figure out like if you have a roof over your head, you have food, like you're able to get food, you have water that you can drink. When you're out of that survival mode and like you feel secure in your new area, start figuring out like start figuring out what you would like to do for a living, or if you actually like living in this area, if you different things that you like to do. Stay healthy, make sure you have good friends, make good friends, good relationships, and yeah, you should be pretty all right. So after following all those steps, you should feel really good, and you know, your safety is the number one priority. So I know it's a very like nerve-wracking situation to go through something like this. And when you have to move across the country at any age, or move away from family, it can be very hard. A lot of times it's hard to find people that, will help you or know what to do. But always follow your instincts, follow your gut. If something doesn't feel right to you, then listen to that. Listen to your instincts, because your instincts and your intuition is what will save your life and guide you in the right direction. So, yeah, I just wanted to share those few tips. Let me know if there's anything else that I missed that would be a good tip to share with any woman that has to leave their abuser and, find a new place to live. I know it's not easy. It definitely wasn't easy for me. I had to do a lot of things and, you know, find out what I really wanted out of life. And I'm just so happy to be in the place that I am now, and to find a place where I'm treated with respect and people actually care about me, and I have great friends, great family, great relationships in my life. And yeah, it was all, I couldn't have had any of these things if it wasn't for me making that first decision on knowing that the place where I was living with this abusive person wasn't gonna give me a good life and the life that I really wanted. So yeah, you have to make that decision for yourself. But in the end, know that it'll all work out and everything will be okay. And I'm always here too. If you have any questions or need guidance, let me know. But yes, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys have a great day.